Imagine waking up every morning feeling a lightness in your heart. No heavy worries, no cloud of doubt. Imagine looking at the world and seeing opportunities instead of obstacles, kindness instead of cruelty. What if staying positive was not just a lucky feeling, but a skill anyone could learn? What if this simple change could bring peace and happiness to your life, no matter your age or past struggles? Have you ever noticed how your thoughts shape your day? When a small problem arises, do you feel it growing bigger inside your mind? Or do you find ways to stay calm and hopeful? What if the key to a better life lies in learning how to guide your thoughts toward positivity, like planting seeds in a garden and watching them bloom? Consider this. If a person wakes up feeling hopeful, their day often turns out better than someone who starts with fear or anger. Just like a flower needs sunlight and water to grow, our minds need positive care. But how do we give our minds this care? How do we choose to be positive, especially when life feels hard? Welcome to Wisdom Woven, where we explore simple, meaningful ways to bring calm and joy into your daily life. This channel is dedicated to sharing ancient Buddhist wisdom that helps you stay positive, no matter what challenges come your way. Here, every video is crafted to give you thoughtful ideas that fit your life, especially if you're over 45 and looking for peace and strength. If you find value in these messages, please like this video and share with friends and family who might also benefit. We truly want to hear your thoughts. Drop down your ideas and experiences in the comments. And if you want more guidance on living a positive life, don't forget to subscribe to Wisdom Woven. Join our community where kindness and hope grow every day. Now, let's begin by understanding why positivity matters so much in life. Buddhist teachings remind us that the mind is the source of happiness and suffering. When our thoughts are calm and kind, we feel peaceful. When they're troubled or angry, we suffer. So, learning to stay positive is not just about ignoring problems. It's about changing the way we see and respond to them. Every day, we face many moments that test our mood. Sometimes it's a difficult conversation, a health concern, or simply feeling alone. These moments are natural, but how we react makes the difference. Imagine treating these challenges like clouds passing in the sky, not holding on to them, but letting them go. This is a powerful step toward lasting peace. Positivity in life is like a garden that needs regular care. The Buddha taught that mindfulness, paying gentle attention to our thoughts, helps us notice when negativity arises. Instead of reacting quickly or harshly, we can choose patience and understanding. This simple shift changes everything. In this series, we will explore how to plant and nurture seeds of positivity through daily practice. We will learn how to quiet the mind's noise and build habits that bring joy and peace. Whether you have years of experience with meditation or are just starting, these insights will help you feel stronger and more hopeful every day. Remember, staying positive is a journey, not a destination. Some days will be easier than others, and that is perfectly okay. The important thing is to keep returning to a kind and hopeful way of seeing life. Together, we will weave wisdom into every moment, creating a life filled with light and meaning. The mind is garden, thoughts that bloom or wither. The mind is like a garden. A garden can grow beautiful flowers, or it can become a patch of weeds. The choice lies in how we care for it. The Zen master often says, "Where you plant your attention, there will your thoughts grow." Each thought is like a seed. Some seeds grow into flowers, spreading light and joy. Others grow into weeds, creating darkness and pain. The key to staying positive in life is to learn which seeds to water and which to pull out. Every day, your mind is full of many seeds, some from your own thinking, some from the world around you. When you are quiet and still, you can notice which seeds are sprouting. Are they seeds of kindness, hope, and peace? Or are they seeds of anger, fear, and doubt? The Buddha taught that the mind is the source of both suffering and happiness. If we allow angry or fearful thoughts to grow, they become a tangled forest, blocking out the light. But if we care for peaceful and kind thoughts, the garden blooms with bright flowers. Imagine you walk into your garden each morning. You see the plants growing, If you notice a weed, you gently pull it out. You water the flowers. You clear the stones that block the sun. This is how the mind must be cared for every day. But this care is not harsh or hurried. The Zen master reminds us that the garden grows slowly. Patience is essential. Do not rush to clear the weeds all at once, or to force the flowers to bloom faster. Gentle, steady care brings the best growth. When a difficult thought comes, like worry or sadness, do not push it away with anger or frustration. Instead, look at it with kindness. Notice it. Thank it for showing itself. Then, gently let it go, like a leaf floating away on a stream. The mind is powerful but also fragile. It can be influenced by many things: words we hear, events we face, the moods of people around us. That is why mindfulness is so important. Mindfulness is simply the practice of paying kind, gentle attention to the present moment. By watching our thoughts without judgment, we learn which ones serve us well and which do not. This watching is like sunlight on the garden. It helps us see clearly what grows inside us. Many people believe that their thoughts are out of their control, like a wild river rushing in many directions. But the Zen master teaches that this river can be guided. With practice, we can direct our thoughts toward calm and positivity, like a gardener channeling water to nourish good plants. This does not mean denying reality. Life brings pain and suffering. It is natural and cannot be avoided. But how we respond to these challenges changes everything. When we practice caring for our mind garden, we begin to notice patterns. We see how certain thoughts arise when we feel lonely or scared or frustrated. We realize these thoughts are like storms passing through the sky, temporary, ever-changing. The Buddha used the metaphor of clouds in the sky. Clouds may cover the sun, but the sun is always there, shining behind them. Our true nature is like that sun, calm, clear, and bright. Negativity is like the clouds that hide this light, but cannot destroy it. By caring for the garden of the mind, we clear away these clouds. We create space for light and peace to shine. This space is the heart of positivity. To care for the garden, we also must be aware of the soil, the conditions that nourish or harm our thoughts. The soil includes our habits, environment, and daily actions. If we spend time with angry or negative people, or focus on stressful news, the soil becomes poor and weeds grow easily. On the other hand, if we choose kindness, calm surroundings, and simple daily rituals, the soil becomes rich and fertile. In this soil, positive thoughts grow strong roots. The Zen master often teaches that small daily actions are like water droplets that nourish the garden. A smile to a stranger, a kind word to a friend, a moment of deep breath in the morning. All these acts feed the garden and help good seeds to grow. One of the greatest challenges is that the mind can be restless. It jumps from one thought to another, often focusing on worries or regrets. The Zen master reminds us, do not follow every bird that flies across the sky. Let them fly by, and keep your eyes on the sun. This means we do not have to follow every negative thought. We can watch them, but not hold on to them. We practice returning again and again to peaceful, kind thoughts. Meditation is a helpful tool in this practice. Sitting quietly, observing the breath, allows the mind to settle. It is like watering the garden with calmness. Over time, the garden becomes easier to tend, and the flowers bloom more freely. In Buddhist teachings, the practice of right mindfulness is the art of caring for the mind garden. It teaches that every moment is a chance to choose which seeds we water. It is important to be patient with yourself. The garden will have seasons. Sometimes weeds grow quickly. Sometimes flowers bloom unexpectedly. This is the natural flow of life. Do not be discouraged if negative thoughts return. The Zen master says, even the most beautiful garden will have some weeds. The wise gardener does not give up. In time, as the garden becomes healthier, you will notice changes in your life. You will feel lighter, more joyful, and more connected to the world around you. Positivity will grow naturally, not forced. Remember, the garden is yours to tend. You have the power to choose which seeds you nurture. This choice is your greatest strength. With gentle care, mindfulness, and patience, your mind garden will flourish. You will create a life filled with peace and light, no matter the storms outside. So each day, take a moment to look into your mind's garden. Notice what grows there. Give your attention to the seeds of kindness, hope, and love. Let the weeds of anger, fear, and doubt gently fade away. This is the path of staying positive in life, a simple, natural way of tending your mind to bloom with happiness. Imagine carrying a heavy bag wherever you go. Every step feels harder because of the weight pressing on your shoulders. Now imagine if you could put down that bag, even just for a moment. How much lighter would your steps feel? How much freer would your heart become? In life, we often carry invisible bags, full of expectations. These expectations come from many places, from ourselves, from others, from what society tells us we should be. We expect to live a certain way, to be accepted, to be successful, to avoid pain. But these expectations are heavy. They weigh us down and fill our minds with stress. The teachings of the Buddha remind us that suffering arises when we cling to things that are not certain, things that change. Expectations are like this. They're tied to future moments that are not guaranteed. When we expect something and it does not happen, we feel disappointment, sadness, or even anger. Ask yourself, how often have you felt unhappy because life did not match your hopes? How many times have you felt tired, overwhelmed by the pressure to meet demands that seem too great? This is the common human struggle. But here is the beautiful truth. You do not have to carry every expectation like it is your burden alone. You can choose to let go. You can open your hands and release what weighs you down. Letting go does not mean giving up or becoming careless. It means seeing clearly what you can control and what you cannot. It means accepting life as it comes, with all its imperfections, without forcing it to be different. In Zen, we say, let the water flow naturally. When you try to hold water in your fist, it slips away. But when your hand is open, the water moves gently, without struggle. The same is true with your mind and expectations. When you release rigid expectations, you create space inside yourself. This space is where peace begins. It is where joy can grow, not because life is perfect, but because you are free. Consider this example. Imagine a tree in the wind. The tree does not fight the wind. Instead, it bends, sways, and moves with the breeze. When the wind stops, the tree stands tall again. You could be like this tree, flexible, calm, and strong. It is natural to have hopes and dreams. They guide us forward, but it is wise to hold them lightly, like holding a feather. When you hold a feather tightly, it breaks. When you hold it softly, it floats. In daily life, you might face expectations from family, work, or society. You might expect yourself to behave a certain way, to always be strong or successful. These expectations create pressure. But the Zen way invites you to breathe deeply and ask, is this expectation helpful? Is it kind to myself? Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is to say no to harsh demands, to give yourself permission to rest, to be imperfect, to be human. The Buddha taught that attachment to ideas about how life should be is one of the roots of suffering. When we release attachment to these ideas, we step into freedom. This freedom is not outside yourself. It lives within your heart and mind. Practice noticing your expectations as they arise. When you feel pressure or frustration, pause. Breathe in gently. Breathe out slowly. Say to yourself, I see this expectation. I choose to let it go. This practice takes time. Your mind may resist. Old habits of worry and control may return. Be patient. Like training a young tree to grow straight, it takes care and kindness. Over time, you'll notice a change. You will feel lighter. You will find it easier to smile, even in difficult moments. You will discover joy in small things. A warm cup of tea, a kind word, a clear morning sky. Positivity does not mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing peace over struggle, choosing to flow with life's changes rather than fight them. Remember, the only moment we truly have is now. Expectations live in the future or the past. When you focus on the present, on what is real and alive, you step into freedom. Every day, invite yourself to walk lightly. Let go of heavy bags of worry, fear, and shoulds. Carry only what nourishes you: kindness, patience, and gentle awareness. When you do this, you create a space for happiness to grow. This happiness is steady. It is not shaken by troubles or setbacks because it is rooted deeply inside. This is the path of Zen, a path of letting go, of simplicity, and of gentle strength. It is a path open to all at any age or stage of life. In this moment, you can begin. Right here, right now. Notice one expectation you're holding tightly. Breathe and imagine setting it down. Feel the relief. Feel the lightness. Feel the peace. This is your true nature. Calm, free, whole. Imagine a misty morning in a quiet forest. The trees stand tall, but the fog hides their true shape and color. You can feel the cool air, hear the soft rustling of leaves, but your vision is unclear. Now, imagine trying to walk through this forest without knowing exactly where you step. The fog makes everything uncertain, and your mind is filled with doubt and confusion. This is how life often feels when we do not see clearly, when our view of the world is clouded by fear, anger, or misunderstanding. In the teachings of the Buddha, there's a word called right view. It means seeing things as they truly are, without the fog of false beliefs or illusions. Right view is the light that clears the mist from our mind and helps us walk steadily, even in the darkest times. Without it, we stumble, afraid of shadows that may not exist. With it, we move forward with calm and confidence. But what is this right view? It is simple, yet powerful. It begins with understanding that life changes constantly. Nothing stays the same. Our feelings, our situations, even our bodies. When we accept this truth, we stop clinging to things that cause pain. We see that suffering comes from wanting the world to be different from how it is. The more we try to hold on to what slips away, the more we suffer. Right view teaches us that our thoughts shape our experience. If we believe the worst, our world feels dark and heavy. If we learn to see clearly, without judgment or fear, we find peace. It is like cleaning a window. Once clear, the light can shine through, and we see the beauty around us. Every day, many people live with distorted views. They may blame others for their problems or think they are powerless to change. They may believe happiness is found only in external things: wealth, approval, success. But these beliefs create a fog that hides the true source of peace, the mind itself. The Buddha's path asks us to look inward, gently and honestly. It asks, what is real? What causes my pain? What leads to my joy? This is not always easy. It requires courage to face the truth about ourselves, our fears, and our habits. But with patience, this understanding grows like a seed in fertile soil. One who practices right view learns to see situations without exaggeration or false hope. They notice their thoughts, and when negative or fearful ideas arise, they do not accept them blindly. Instead, they question, is this thought true? Does it help me grow? Or does it only cause suffering? In this way, the mind becomes clear and steady. We learn not to react immediately to every feeling or event, but to pause and respond with wisdom. This does not mean ignoring pain or pretending all is well. It means facing reality with openness and kindness. When right view deepens, life's challenges lose their power to disturb us. We understand that difficulties are natural, like rain in season. We prepare, but we do not fear. We learn to ride the waves of life rather than being overwhelmed by them. Many find this kind of vision freeing. Instead of being trapped in endless worry or anger, they develop a calm strength. Problems become opportunities to practice patience and compassion. They see others not as enemies or obstacles, but as fellow travelers, each carrying their own struggles. This clarity also helps us let go of expectations, the silent chains that bind us to disappointment. We often suffer because life does not follow the story we imagine in our minds. Right view invites us to release these stories and accept things as they are, not as we wish them to be. The Zen master once said, "The moon does not worry if the sky is cloudy. It waits patiently for the clouds to pass, knowing it will shine again." So too, we learn to wait with calmness, knowing that difficult times do not last forever. Our true nature, like the moon, is always there, shining beyond the clouds of confusion. Right view is the beginning of wisdom. It helps us see the path clearly, so we do not get lost in illusions or false hopes. It opens the heart to kindness, understanding, and peace. With this view, we do not deny life's hardships, but meet them with a mind that is calm, clear, and strong. The practice of right view is not a one-time event. It is a daily choice to look at the world and ourselves with honesty and compassion. It means gently correcting our mistakes and learning from each experience. Like polishing a precious stone, our understanding becomes brighter over time. In moments of anger or fear, right view reminds us to pause and breathe, to remember that these feelings are temporary and do not define us. They are like waves on the surface of the ocean, which eventually settle back into stillness. Through this practice, we become less caught in negative patterns. We see that suffering arises from clinging, aversion, and ignorance. By recognizing these causes, we can let go and find freedom. This freedom is the heart of happiness. Living with right view changes how we relate to others. Instead of judging or blaming, we begin to understand that everyone is trying to find peace in their own way. This awareness brings compassion and forgiveness. We see the common thread of humanity that connects us all. When the mind is clear, we can also appreciate the small joys in life, the warmth of the sun, a smile from a stranger, the simple beauty of a flower. These moments become treasures, grounding us in the present. The Buddha said that right view is the foundation of the Eightfold Path, the way to end suffering and live with wisdom. Without this foundation, our efforts to be positive or kind may falter. But with it, every step we take becomes more steady and meaningful. As we walk this path, it is important to be patient with ourselves. Change does not happen overnight. The fog of confusion lifts slowly as we practice seeing clearly again and again. Each moment of clarity is a small victory. Remember, the light of right view shines from within. It is not something we find outside, but something we nurture inside ourselves. With practice, this light grows stronger, guiding us through life's challenges. So, when confusion or fear cloud your mind, return to this simple truth. Seeing clearly is possible. You can learn to see the world and yourself without the fog of false beliefs. This is the power of right view. Embrace this vision gently. Allow it to shape your thoughts, your words, and your actions. With each step, your mind becomes lighter, your heart kinder, and your life more peaceful. In the quiet moments of meditation, or in the busyness of daily life, remind yourself, the path is clear when the mind is clear. Walk it with courage and kindness. The fog will lift, and your true nature will shine through. Imagine a river flowing quietly through a valley. The water never stays in one place. It moves forward, touching rocks, carrying leaves, always changing. We too are like that river, always moving in time. But often, our minds do not flow with life. Instead, they stop, stuck in the past, or worried about the future. This stopping causes suffering. Many people carry a heavy load on their backs, the burden of regret for what they did or did not do. Others are caught in the web of worry about what might happen tomorrow. But the past is already gone, like footprints washed away by the rain. The future is not here yet. It is like a shadow that has not arrived. The only place we truly live is the present moment. This breath, this heartbeat, this step. The Buddha teaches us that true peace comes from being fully present. When we anchor ourselves in the now, the chains of regret and worry begin to loosen. This does not mean we ignore our past or stop planning for the future. It means we do not let these thoughts take over our minds. Instead, we gently bring our attention back to what is happening right now. Many people find this difficult because the mind is restless, like a monkey jumping from tree to tree. It leaps from memories to fears, from what was to what might be. Yet, if we watch carefully, we see that this jumping creates confusion and sadness. But when we learn to be still, like the calm surface of a pond, clarity emerges naturally. Being present means feeling the ground beneath our feet, noticing the air on our skin, hearing the sounds around us. It means tasting our food with full attention, listening fully when someone speaks, and breathing deeply with awareness. These simple acts bring us home to ourselves. The present moment is like a gift wrapped in silence. When we open it, we find peace waiting inside. This peace is not something we create or force. It is always there, like the sky behind the clouds. The clouds are our thoughts and worries, but the sky, our true self, remains calm and vast. One teaching from the Buddha tells us about mindfulness of breathing. Simply watching the breath in and out can be a powerful way to anchor ourselves in the present. When you focus on your breath, you are not lost in regret or caught in anxiety. You are here, fully alive, experiencing life as it flows. Regret often comes from judging ourselves harshly. We think, I should have done better, or why did I make that mistake? These thoughts pull us back into old stories. But the Zen master reminds us, mistakes are part of being human. They teach us lessons and help us grow. Instead of clinging to regret, we can choose kindness toward ourselves. Worry is like a shadow that tries to block the light. It whispers, what if something bad happens? But often, these worries never come true. The Zen master says, do not carry tomorrow's troubles today. Instead, face each day as it comes, with courage and calmness. Trust that you have the strength to handle what life brings. To live anchored in the present, we practice letting go. Letting go does not mean forgetting or giving up. It means releasing the tight grip on thoughts that do not help us. It is like opening our hands and allowing the wind to flow through. When we let go, we make space for peace and happiness. Many people carry regret and worry without even realizing it. Their minds are like busy marketplaces filled with noise and confusion. The Zen master invites us to step out of that noise and find a quiet place within. In this quiet, we remember that life is not only about problems. It is about beauty, love, and the simple joy of being alive. One of the Buddha's deepest teachings is that everything changes. Nothing stays the same. Today's sorrow will pass, just as joy will. By accepting this truth, we free ourselves from clinging to the past or fearing the future. We learn to welcome each moment, whatever it brings, with open hearts. Anchoring in the present also means being patient. Sometimes life is hard. Problems may come one after another. But the Zen master reminds us, the river keeps flowing even when it meets stones. So too can we keep moving forward with steady mind and gentle spirit. The present moment is full of small miracles. The warmth of sunlight on your face, the smile of a friend, the sound of birds singing. When we slow down and notice these, we begin to see life differently. We see that even in difficult times, there's something good to hold on to. Breathing, walking, eating, these ordinary acts can become moments of deep presence. The Zen master teaches that when we do things fully and with attention, life feels richer. This richness is not about having more things, but about feeling more deeply the gift of each moment. There is a story of a monk who carried a heavy burden of guilt. One day, a wise teacher said to him, "Why do you carry this weight on your back? The past is behind you. Lay it down and walk forward." At first, the monk was afraid, but slowly he learned to let go. And in that letting go, he found freedom. Freedom comes when we stop fighting with time. We stop wishing the past was different and stop fearing the future. Instead, we say yes to the now, exactly as it is. This acceptance does not mean giving up hope or effort. It means living with peace, no matter what. Our mind is like a clear lake. When waves of regret or worry ripple across it, the reflection becomes disturbed. But when the waves settle, the lake shows a perfect mirror. That mirror reflects not only what is outside, but also the stillness within us. Every day offers a new chance to practice being present. Like training a muscle, the more we practice, the stronger our ability to stay calm grows. At first, it may seem hard. The mind may wander. But each time we bring it back gently, we build peace. The Zen master says that true happiness is not found in things outside, but inside. When we stop chasing after what we do not have or fearing what might come, we discover a deep joy in simply being alive here and now. Sometimes, people think that to be happy, they must change their life completely. But often, happiness is hidden in the simple act of breathing fully, listening deeply, and walking mindfully. These small moments of presence add up, creating a life filled with light. When we face sadness or pain, the present moment helps us see clearly. We understand that pain is temporary, like clouds crossing the sky. This understanding brings comfort and strength. Anchoring ourselves in the present does not mean ignoring problems. It means meeting them with a calm and steady mind. When we are present, we see solutions more clearly. We respond with wisdom instead of fear. Letting go of regret and worry also means forgiving ourselves. The Zen master reminds us that we are all learning. Every mistake is a step on the path. By forgiving ourselves, we free our hearts to move forward with love. In silence and stillness, the present moment reveals its true nature. Peace beyond words, joy beyond conditions. This peace is available to everyone right now. As we practice being here, we find that life's burdens feel lighter. The river flows smoothly again. We feel connected, not only to ourselves but to all beings moving through time. This connection reminds us that we are never truly alone. Like the river that joins the ocean, our lives are part of a greater whole. In this whole, peace and happiness are possible for all of us right now. Finding joy in simplicity. In this busy world, many believe happiness comes from having more. More things, more success, more attention. Yet, the Buddha teaches us differently. He shows us that true joy does not come from gathering more, but from letting go. When we simplify our lives, we clear space in our hearts and minds for peace to enter. Imagine a clear lake. When the water is calm and free of ripples, you see your reflection clearly. But when the wind stirs the surface, the image becomes broken and confusing. Our minds are like that lake. When cluttered by too many desires or worries, we lose sight of ourselves and our true happiness. In the practice of simplicity, we learn to notice what truly matters. The Buddha said, "Desire is the root of suffering." This desire for more things, more comfort, more praise, creates endless wants. When these wants grow without end, they pull us away from contentment. When a person begins to simplify, they do not lose joy. Instead, they discover a deeper kind of joy. This joy is quiet, steady, and rich. It is the joy of living with enough. Not too much, not too little, just enough to be free. Look around you. What things do you really need? Perhaps a warm meal, a safe place to rest, the company of a friend. These simple needs, when met with gratitude, become sources of great happiness. When we stop chasing what is unnecessary, we open ourselves to see the beauty in what already is. The Buddha encouraged his followers to live modestly, with few possessions. This was not because having things is bad, but because clinging to things traps the mind. When we are attached, we suffer. When we are free from attachment, we find peace. Simplicity is not only about possessions. It is also about how we think and how we spend our time. Our minds can become crowded with worries, regrets, or plans for the future. This mental clutter is like carrying a heavy load. When we learn to let go of unnecessary thoughts, we lighten our minds and hearts. In daily life, practicing simplicity might mean choosing to spend less time on distractions and more time on what brings peace. It might mean taking a quiet walk, listening deeply to the sound around you, or sharing a simple meal with a loved one. These small acts teach us to appreciate life's gentle rhythms. When we slow down, we notice the soft beauty in ordinary moments, the way sunlight falls through a window, the quiet breath of a child, the gentle rustle of leaves. These simple gifts, often overlooked, are full of joy when we stop rushing. Sometimes, people fear that living simply means giving up comfort or pleasure. But Buddhist wisdom shows us that true comfort and pleasure come from harmony within, not from outside things. Pleasure tied to objects or status fades quickly and can lead to craving more. But the pleasure of peace, contentment, and kindness grows stronger over time. The mind trained in simplicity learns to be content with what is. It does not grasp or push away. This calm mind is like a steady flame in the wind. It neither flickers wildly nor goes out easily. This steady flame is the light of true happiness. Another way simplicity helps us stay positive is by reducing distractions that pull us away from ourselves. In modern life, constant noise and busyness can make us forget who we are and what truly matters. Simplicity gives us space to return home to ourselves. The Buddha often sat in silence, alone or with a few disciples, showing that richness is not found in noise or crowds. In silence, the mind becomes clear and the heart opens. From this openness, joy naturally arises. When we choose simplicity, we also create more kindness. Without the rush for more, we can be more present for others. We listen better, give more freely, and see people as they are, without judgment. This kindness further nurtures a positive mind. It is important to remember that simplicity is a practice, not a goal to reach all at once. We start where we are, with small steps. Perhaps it is clearing a drawer, slowing down our speech, or saying no to unnecessary tasks. Each step helps us unwind the knots of complexity in our lives. At times, old habits or thoughts may try to pull us back into busyness and clutter. This is natural. Like the waves that rise and fall in the ocean, distractions come and go. The practice is to gently bring the mind back to simplicity again and again. The beauty of simplicity is that it is always available to us. No matter where we live or what we own, we can always choose to live with less noise in our hearts. This choice brings peace, and with peace comes a positive life. The Buddha said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." This teaching reminds us that all the things we truly need are already inside us. We only need to stop, breathe, and see clearly. In finding joy through simplicity, we become like the lotus flower. The lotus grows from mud, yet it blooms pure and beautiful above the water. Similarly, even if life feels messy or complicated, simplicity allows our true happiness to rise above the chaos. When the mind is simple and clear, it can touch the beauty in every moment. It is like the sky after a storm, open, wide, and calm. This vastness invites positive thoughts, gratitude, and hope to grow naturally. Many who have walked this path of simplicity say they feel lighter, freer, and more connected to life. They notice their worries shrink and their joy expand. This joy does not depend on outside things, but flows from inside like a gentle river. Simplicity also helps us be more honest with ourselves. When we stop pretending or chasing what others want, we discover our own true nature. This honesty builds confidence and peace, foundations of a positive life. The more we practice simplicity, the more we realize that happiness is not far away or hidden. It is right here, in this very moment, waiting for us to notice. When we open our hearts to this truth, life feels easier and full of meaning. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed by the demands of life, pause and ask yourself, what can I let go of? What small step towards simplicity can I take right now? Even the smallest action can bring a fresh breeze into your heart. Remember, the path to positivity is gentle. It is not about perfection or rushing. It is about coming home to yourself with kindness and patience. In simplicity, we find space for joy to grow naturally. It is a joy that is quiet but strong, It does not fade with time, but deepens, like a wellspring that never runs dry. Let your life be a reflection of this simple joy. Let your days be filled with moments of peace and gratitude. This is the way of a Buddha, the way of true happiness. And so, with each breath, each step, each choice, you can weave simplicity into your life. Like threads of calm and clarity, they create a tapestry of positivity that lasts. When you live simply, you do not just survive, you thrive. You awaken to the beauty that has always been around you, and your heart opens wide with joy. This is the power of simplicity. This is the wisdom of the Buddha. This is the path to a positive life. Listen carefully. Compassion is like a gentle river flowing through the heart. It is not something distant or hard to find. It lives inside each of us, waiting quietly to be uncovered. When a mind is open and soft, compassion naturally arises. It is the heart's response to seeing another person's pain and wishing to ease it. Many people think compassion means fixing others or always giving something. But in truth, compassion begins simply with understanding. When we see someone suffering, whether they show it or hide it deep inside, compassion lets us meet them with kindness, without judgment. It is a soft look, a silent wish for their peace. In Buddhism, compassion is not just an act. It is a way of being. It grows as the mind grows wiser. When we understand our own pain, we begin to understand the pain of others. This is the seed of true compassion. To be truly kind, we must first be kind to ourselves. Think about this. How often do we criticize ourselves? How often do we carry anger inside, blaming ourselves for mistakes? This harshness closes the heart. It builds walls between us and the world. But when we learn to accept ourselves, flaws and all, these walls begin to fall away. Compassion grows like a soft light, warm and steady. When we practice compassion toward ourselves, it becomes easier to offer it to others. This does not mean ignoring wrong actions or allowing harm. Compassion includes wisdom. It knows when to gently correct and when to simply listen. It is firm, yet tender. There is a story in the Buddhist teachings about a monk who found a wounded bird. Instead of rushing to heal it, he sat quietly beside the bird, letting it know it was not alone. His presence was a kind of healing. This story teaches us that sometimes compassion is simply being there, fully present, without rushing, without trying to fix everything. In our daily lives, compassion can be as simple as listening with an open heart. When a family member shares their troubles, or a friend shows sadness, giving them full attention without interrupting or judging is an act of great compassion. It allows the other person to feel seen and heard. We often forget how powerful this simple act is. It creates connection, and through connection, healing begins. Compassion removes loneliness. It breaks down walls built by fear and misunderstanding. From a Buddhist point of view, compassion is inseparable from wisdom. Wisdom sees the true nature of life, that all beings want happiness and want to avoid suffering. When we see this truth clearly, compassion is natural. It flows like water, reaching wherever there is dryness or thirst. But what if someone hurts us? What if the pain feels too deep? The path of compassion does not mean ignoring our pain or pretending everything is fine. It means holding our pain gently, without hatred. It means understanding that those who hurt others are often trapped in their own suffering. Imagine a tree in winter, bare and cold. Beneath the surface, life is still growing, waiting for spring. Compassion sees the hidden life in others, even when it is not visible. It recognizes that pain can hide behind anger, fear, or cruelty. When we practice compassion in this way, something changes inside us. Our hearts become larger. We stop seeing the world as divided into us and them. Instead, we see one human family, connected and fragile. The Buddha taught the practice of loving kindness, or metta. Metta is the wish that all beings be happy and free from suffering. When we practice metta, we send out waves of kindness, first to ourselves, then to those close to us, and finally to all beings everywhere. This practice strengthens our ability to stay positive because it opens the heart beyond the limits of the self. Compassion is also a shield. When life's difficulties come, and they always do, compassion helps us stay steady. It softens the blows. It reminds us that we are not alone in our suffering. Others have walked similar paths, and together, kindness and understanding can heal. In a way, compassion is the very essence of positivity. It is not just about feeling good or smiling through pain. It is about a deep acceptance of life as it is, with all its joy and sorrow. Compassion allows us to meet life with a brave and open heart. Consider how often people feel isolated in their struggles. When we show compassion, we break that isolation. We remind others and ourselves that life is shared. We are connected by our hopes, fears, and dreams. This connection is the ground on which positivity grows. When we feel connected, we feel supported. Our hearts open to possibilities we might never have imagined alone. The Zen masters often say, if you want to be happy, practice compassion. This simple advice points to a profound truth. Happiness is not something to grasp or hold tightly. It grows when we give it away freely. In your own life, watch for moments when compassion arises. It might be a small feeling, a softening in the chest, a quiet wish for someone's peace. Notice how these moments change your view of the world. They remind you that kindness is always available. You might wonder, how can I practice compassion every day? Start with small steps. When you see someone struggling, offer a kind word or a patient smile. When you feel frustration rising inside, breathe deeply and remind yourself that everyone is doing their best. Practice patience with yourself, too. Compassion grows slowly, like a seed beneath the earth. It needs time, care, and the gentle attention. Remember, compassion is not weakness. It is strength born from understanding. It is courage wrapped in kindness. As you walk this path, your heart will soften. Your mind will clear. Positivity will become not just a goal, but your natural state. In this way, compassion transforms life itself. It turns hardship into a teacher, pain into a doorway to growth, and loneliness into connection. May your heart open like a lotus flower, unfolding gently to the light of compassion. In that light, may you find peace, joy, and true positivity. Pain and suffering. These are words that no one wants to hear. We spend much of our lives trying to avoid them. But what if I tell you that pain is not your enemy? What if I tell you that suffering is not a curse, but a doorway to strength? This is the teaching that runs deeply in the heart of Buddhist wisdom. And as a Zen master, I invite you to explore it with calm and open eyes. Many think that being positive means never feeling pain or sadness. This is a misunderstanding. To be truly positive does not mean to run away from suffering or pretend it doesn't exist. It means to face suffering with courage and wisdom, to learn from it, and to allow it to transform you into someone stronger, more compassionate, and more awake. Imagine a bamboo tree. It bends with the storm, but does not break. Its strength comes not from rigidity, but from flexibility. Pain and suffering are like the winds that test the bamboo. At first, the storm may seem cruel and endless. Yet through the storm, the bamboo learns how to bow, how to sway, and ultimately, how to stand tall again. So too can you learn from pain. In life, suffering comes in many forms. Loss of loved ones, illness, loneliness, mistakes made, moments of failure, or even simple disappointment. These moments are unavoidable. Yet, the Buddha teaches us that suffering is not the end of the road, but a beginning. It is the root from which strength can grow. When pain arises, many try to resist it. They push it away or cover it up with distractions. But suffering does not vanish so easily. It lingers, waiting to be acknowledged. The path to true peace begins with seeing suffering clearly, without judgment, without fear, and without running away. Sit quietly now. Imagine the last time you felt hurt, whether in body, mind, or heart. Feel that pain gently, without pushing it away. Notice how it feels inside you. Is it heavy or sharp? Does it make your chest tight or your mind restless? Now breathe slowly and deeply. Imagine breathing into that pain, giving it space and kindness. This is not easy, for our first instinct is to flee from discomfort. But with practice, you begin to see that pain is just another visitor passing through. It does not define you. It is not permanent. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end, like a wave in the ocean that rises and falls. Buddhist teachings call this impermanence. Everything changes. The pain you feel now will change. It may soften, transform, or even disappear. When you understand this truth deeply, you are no longer trapped by your suffering. You become like the bamboo, flexible, resilient, alive. But there is more. Suffering also teaches you compassion. When you have tasted pain, you understand the pain of others. You become more patient, more gentle, and more forgiving, not only toward others but also toward yourself. In this way, your suffering is not wasted. It becomes a gift. In Zen, we speak often of turning poison into medicine. What seems like a cruel fate can become your healer. Your heart, once wounded, opens wider. Your mind, once clouded by pain, grows clearer. The wounds you carry become the very source of your strength and kindness. Do not rush this process. Transformation takes time, like the slow turning of a wheel. Sometimes you will feel strong and sometimes weak. This is natural. The important thing is to keep practicing awareness and kindness toward yourself. Every moment of suffering holds a lesson waiting for you. You may ask, how do I begin? Begin simply by noticing. When pain arises, notice it as it is. Say silently to yourself, this is pain. Do not add stories or blame. Just observe. Then breathe. This simple act is powerful. It stops you from falling into old habits of fear and anger. Over time, you may find that your suffering no longer controls you. You become free to choose how you respond. You may decide to rest, to seek help, or to find peace in meditation. You may find that your heart softens even toward the hardest parts of life. There's a story of a Zen monk who was caught in a heavy rainstorm. He was cold, wet, and tired. Instead of wishing the rain away, he sat calmly and allowed himself to be fully present with the storm. After a while, he noticed the beauty in the sound of raindrops and the fresh scent of the earth. What once seemed unbearable became a moment of peace. This is the power of transformation. Pain is not something to be feared or hated. It is a path that, if walked with mindfulness and courage, leads to deeper strength, understanding, and joy. Remember, you are not alone in your suffering. All beings experience pain, yet all beings also have the potential to awaken beyond it. The Buddha himself experienced great suffering and taught that liberation is possible for everyone. In your daily life, you may face moments that bring discomfort or sadness. When these arise, pause. Breathe. Bring your gentle attention to the moment. Let your mind be like water, clear and calm, reflecting what is without being disturbed by it. From this calm place, you can begin to respond wisely. Maybe you will offer kindness to yourself with a soft word or a caring action. Maybe you will reach out to someone else who is suffering. Each small step builds your inner strength and helps others along the way. In time, you will find that your suffering no longer isolates you. It connects you. It deepens your empathy and your joy. This is the true transformation that comes from embracing pain with an open heart. So, when hardship comes, welcome it as a teacher. Bow to it like the bamboo in the storm. Know that within suffering lies the seed of your greatest strength and compassion. The path of positivity is not about avoiding pain. It is about walking through it with awareness, kindness, and courage. This is the wisdom of the Buddha and the way of Zen. Walk this path step by step, breath by breath. The strength you seek is already within you, waiting to be born from the soil of your own experience. The art of equanimity, balancing life's highs and lows. Sit quietly for a moment. Just breathe. Now think of your life, not as a straight road, but as a winding path. Sometimes the path climbs uphill and your legs ache. Sometimes it goes downhill and you feel like you're flying. But the path never stays the same for long. This is the way of life. Things change. People come and go. Health rises and falls. Joy visits, and so does sorrow. The wise person learns not to hold on too tightly to either one. In Buddhism, there's a word for this balanced way of being. It is called equanimity. Equanimity is the quiet strength that helps you stay steady during life's storms and humble during life celebrations. It doesn't mean you feel nothing. It means you feel everything, but you're not controlled by it. Think of a candle flame in a still room. It burns steadily, but if you open a window, wind can blow it out. Equanimity is like closing that window, not to avoid life, but to protect your inner peace. You learn to guard your mind gently, to remain centered no matter what the world throws at you. When something good happens, many people rush to grab it, fearing it will slip away. And when something bad happens, they panic, fearing it will last forever. But the Buddha taught, everything that arises also passes away. Every smile fades. Every tear dries. Nothing is permanent. Not joy, not pain. Knowing this, we begin to relax. Ask yourself, how do you usually respond when life surprises you? When someone praises you, do you feel lifted so high that even a small criticism later crushes you? When trouble comes, do you fall apart, forgetting that peace is always inside you? These moments are not faults. They are chances to learn. The true path to peace is not to chase happiness or run from pain. It is to stand in the middle of both with open hands. When life gives you a gift, enjoy it, but don't cling to it. When life gives you sorrow, feel it, but don't sink into it. This is equanimity. Many people think being calm means being passive, but a calm mind is not a weak mind. It is a mind that sees clearly, like a still pond that reflects the sky. If your mind is full of waves, of anger, desire, fear, you cannot see the truth. But when it is still, wisdom rises naturally. A person with equanimity may lose their job, but they do not lose their dignity. They may face illness, but they do not lose hope. They may cry, but they do not collapse. This kind of strength does not come from outside. It comes from within. It is trained through practice, like any skill. One way to grow equanimity is by watching your thoughts. When something happens, stop and ask, is my mind being pulled too far this way or that? Like a boat leaning to one side, you gently guide it back to the middle. It takes patience, but slowly, you will learn to sail calmly through the waves. Life will test you. People may speak unkindly. Circumstances may disappoint. You may feel alone at times. But remember, your response is your power. You cannot control the wind, but you can adjust your sail. You cannot avoid change, but you can prepare your mind for it. Some days, you will succeed. You will smile in the middle of difficulty. Other days, you may fall. That is also okay. Equanimity is not perfection. It is returning again and again to the center. It is knowing that balance is something you keep practicing, not something you achieve once and forget. The Zen master once said, "Let the muddy water settle, and the path becomes clear." In our lives, we are often stirring the water, reacting too fast, judging too quickly. But if we learn to wait, to breathe, to watch without jumping to emotion, the mud will settle. We begin to see clearly. There is peace in that stillness. And in that peace, wisdom grows. You may realize that the thing that once made you so angry does not matter. That the praise that once thrilled you has passed. That what stays is your own calm heart, steady, quiet, soft like a gentle breeze. Equanimity also helps with relationships. When someone you love is in pain, you care deeply. But you do not drown in their suffering. You stand beside them like a rock in the river. You are present, but not pulled under. This makes your support stronger, your compassion deeper. The same applies to joy. When good news arrives, you celebrate, but not so wildly that you lose your grounding. You enjoy without attachment. You know that this too will pass, and that's what makes it beautiful. A flower blooms and fades. The bloom is precious because it is short. Look back on your own life. You've had times of great happiness and times of great sorrow. But through it all, here you are, still walking, still breathing. Isn't that proof that balance is possible? That even when the wind blows, you can find your center again? Equanimity gives us the strength to say, this moment is enough. Not because it is perfect, but because we are no longer chasing or fighting. We are simply present. We are simply alive. And that, in itself, is a blessing. So each day, pause. Take a few breaths. Ask yourself gently, am I reacting or responding? Am I holding on or letting go? And if you've lost your balance, do not judge yourself. Just return, like the tide returns to the shore. With time, this returning becomes your rhythm. Equanimity does not make life easier, but it makes your heart stronger. And in the end, that is what truly matters. Not how much you achieved, but how deeply you lived. Not how loud your laughter was, but how steady your peace remained. The Buddha once said, as a solid rock is not shaken by the wind, so the wise are not moved by praise or blame. Let that be your guide. Be like the rock, not hard but rooted, not cold but firm, not untouched by life, but not overwhelmed by it. And when others come to you in trouble, your calm will comfort them. Your balance will become a gift, not through words, but through your presence. In this way, equanimity is not only for you, it becomes a light for others too. Let your life be like the sky, wide, open, spacious. Clouds will come and go, but the sky remains. That is your nature too, and in that knowing, you'll find your peace. The journey of life is like a river flowing gently or fiercely, depending on the forces that guide it. When we think of positivity, it might feel like a distant mountain, far away and difficult to reach. But the truth is much closer than that. Positivity is built by small, simple actions repeated over time. Like drops of water carving stone, these small habits shape the landscape of our mind and heart. Every day offers us moments, small chances to choose how we respond to the world. These moments are the seeds of habit. If we water them with kindness, patience, and gentle attention, they grow strong and nourishing. If we neglect them or feed them with anger, fear, or judgment, they become weeds, choking out peace and joy. Imagine waking in the morning and taking a deep breath. In that moment, you can choose to greet the day with gratitude, even if only for the breath itself. This simple act is a seed of positivity. Over time, it will grow into calmness and clarity that steadies your whole day. The habit of beginning with gratitude changes the way the mind moves through the hours. Habits are not formed in grand gestures, but in tiny steps repeated over and over. The Zen teaches us to return again and again to the present moment, to the breath, to the simple act of noticing. When you find your mind wandering toward worry or sadness, gently bring it back like a parent guiding a child with patience and love. When these small positive acts become part of daily life, they create a foundation so strong that the storms of difficulty cannot shake it easily. One smile, one kind word, one deep breath can shift the direction of your whole day, and each day builds upon the last, like bricks laid patiently to form a sturdy wall. It is important to remember that these habits are not about forcing happiness or ignoring pain. Instead, they teach us to see things clearly and respond with wisdom and compassion. When pain arises, it is natural to feel it, but through habit, we learn to face it without fear, without resistance, allowing it to pass like clouds across a bright sky. The power of habit is not in the doing alone, but in the meaning behind the action. When you wash your hands, be fully present. Feel the water, the warmth or coolness, the movement. When you eat, taste each bite, savoring the nourishment. These moments connect us deeply to life and awaken gratitude and peace. Building positive habits is like tending a garden. We must clear away old weeds of negativity, doubt, and blame. We must plant seeds of kindness, hope, and mindfulness. We must return each day to care for this garden with patience and love, knowing that growth takes time. Often, the mind resists change because it is comfortable in old patterns, even if those patterns cause pain. But the Zen teaches us that discomfort is a signal a chance to open the door to something new. When you feel resistance, do not push or pull too hard. Instead, breathe deeply and soften into the moment. Small changes in daily routine can create big shifts in life. Try starting your day with a moment of silence or deep breath. Speak to yourself kindly, as you would to a dear friend. Notice when anger or frustration arises, and pause before reacting. Each pause is an opportunity to choose peace instead. The habits we build also shape how we see others. When kindness becomes natural to us, it ripples outward, touching those around us. The Buddha said that compassion begins with oneself and spreads like the light of a lamp in darkness. Your small acts of positivity brighten the world in ways you may never see. Sometimes the hardest habit to build is patience. Patience with yourself. You may stumble, lose your way, or forget your intention. This is part of the path. Instead of judgment, offer yourself forgiveness and gently return to your practice. This cycle of falling and rising is the rhythm of growth. Habit is not about perfection. It is about presence. Being present with each moment, accepting it fully, and responding with care. This presence is a habit that opens the door to deep peace and joy, even in the face of difficulty. It is a light that does not fade with the changing seasons of life. In the quiet moments, when the mind is still, you may begin to notice the power of these habits. They become like a river running smoothly, carrying you through the days with ease and grace. You learn to trust yourself and the flow of life, knowing that each step forward, no matter how small, is meaningful. Positive habits are the tools for weaving a life of meaning. They help us move beyond old patterns of worry, anger, or despair. They teach us to see beauty in simple things, the warmth of sunlight, the smile of a stranger, the sound of a bird's song. These habits help us remember who we truly are beneath the noise of the mind. When you build these habits with sincerity and patience, you begin to feel a quiet strength inside. This strength is not loud or forceful, but gentle and steady. It holds you through challenges and invites you to meet each day with courage and hope. Remember that no one builds these habits alone. The wisdom of the Buddha guides us, and the support of community sustains us. Sharing your journey, your small successes and struggles, enriches the path for all. Each person's effort adds to the light that brightens the world. It is in the ordinary, everyday moments that the extraordinary unfolds. The habit of kindness in a glance, the habit of calm in a breath, the habit of patience in a difficult conversation. These small acts create a tapestry of peace and happiness that no storm can undo. So, return each day to the simple question, what small habit can I build today that brings more peace and kindness to my life? This question, asked with an open heart, becomes the beginning of lasting transformation. The Zen way is gentle. It does not demand sudden change or struggle. It invites you to walk slowly, to observe deeply, to embrace each moment as it is. And in this slow, steady way, your habits become the roots of a strong, vibrant life. As the river flows, as the seasons turn, your life changes naturally. With each habit nurtured, you move closer to the calm center within, the place where true positivity lives, not as a fleeting feeling, but as the steady light of being. Let this be your practice, to plant seeds of positivity with every breath, every word, every act. Tend these seeds with patience and care. Watch them grow into a life of peace and joy that touches everyone you meet. And know this, the path of building positive habits is a journey without end. It is a dance with life itself, always moving, always changing, always growing. Walk it with kindness toward yourself and others, and you will find the happiness that no one can take away. Listen carefully. Wisdom is not just knowledge stored in the mind. Wisdom is like a river flowing through life. It moves, it acts, it changes the world around us. To live positively, we must bring wisdom into every moment, into every action we take. Many think wisdom is something distant, something to learn over many years, hidden in ancient books or faraway temples. But true wisdom is very close. It is the quiet voice inside you that knows kindness, patience, and peace. It is the gentle understanding that everything changes, and with that change, new chances arise. In our daily lives, we face choices every moment. Will we respond with anger or calm? Will we speak harshly or with kindness? These small moments add up. The way we act each day is the true path to staying positive. A tree does not grow tall by wishing alone. It grows by steady roots taking in water and sunlight. So too, our wisdom grows when we act steadily with kindness, patience, and understanding. The Buddha taught that right action is one part of the Noble Eightfold Path. It means living in a way that does not harm others or ourselves. It means choosing actions that bring peace instead of trouble. This is the foundation of positive living. When you wake in the morning, consider your actions as seeds. Will you plant seeds of peace, kindness, and hope? Or will you plant seeds of anger, impatience, and fear? Remember, what you plant today will grow in your heart and in your world tomorrow. Sometimes life tests us harshly. People may speak cruel words. Situations may feel unfair. But wisdom reminds us to respond with calm and love, not with the fire of anger. This is not weakness. It is the strength of the wise. A wise person knows that anger burns the one who holds it most. Letting go is not giving up. It is choosing peace over pain. Every time you choose peace, you water the garden of your mind. You do not have to be perfect. Even the wisest make mistakes. The difference isn't how you learn from those mistakes. Wisdom is in seeing where you went wrong, forgiving yourself, and moving forward with a softer heart. To live the positive path daily, start with simple acts. A smile to a stranger, a kind word to a family member, a moment of patience when things go wrong. These small acts are the true practice of wisdom. Think of a single drop of water falling on a stone. At first, the stone seems unchanged. But over time, the constant drops smooth the rough surface. So, your daily acts of kindness and calmness slowly change the world around you in your own heart. Wisdom in action means being present. When you wash the dishes, wash them with full attention. When you walk outside, feel the earth beneath your feet. When you listen to someone, listen fully without planning what to say next. This mindful living brings clarity and peace. When you are mindful, you see things as they are. You see the beauty in small moments. The warmth of sunlight, the sound of birds, the smile of a child. These simple joys fill the heart with positivity. Sometimes staying positive feels hard. Old habits of worry or anger pull us back. But remember, each day is a new chance to begin again. Wisdom teaches us patience, with ourselves and with life's unfolding. In your community, you are a light. Your calm, kind presence can ease the burdens of others. Sometimes just being there, without judgment or advice, is the greatest gift. Let your actions reflect the wisdom you carry. Speak truth gently. Help others without expectation. Share your time and your smile freely. These actions create ripples that spread far beyond what you see. When you face difficulties, remember the Buddha's teaching on impermanence. All things pass, pain, fear, even joy. Knowing this helps you hold life lightly, with less grasping and more freedom. Sometimes the path feels lonely. Others may not understand your choice to stay positive. But the wise walk quietly, knowing their peace is a treasure no one can take away. When doubt comes, return to your breath. Breathe deeply and feel the steady rhythm of life within you. This simple practice connects you to wisdom deeper than words. Living the positive path daily means balancing effort with ease. Don't force happiness. Cultivate peace gently. Like a gardener tending plants, care for your mind with love and patience. Your thoughts shape your world. When negative thoughts arise, greet them with kindness. Then let them go like clouds passing in the sky. This practice frees your mind to shine clearly. Remember, wisdom is not separate from daily life. It is woven into every moment. Washing clothes, cooking meals, working with others, all become practice when done with attention and kindness. You may wonder, how do I keep this up when life feels heavy? The answer is found in small moments. A kind word, a deep breath, a moment of gratitude. These are the anchors that hold you steady. Gratitude opens the heart. Each day, notice something you are thankful for: a warm cup of tea, a good friend, a quiet moment. Gratitude softens the mind and invites joy. The wise do not chase after happiness. They allow happiness to arise naturally by living truthfully and kindly. Positivity is not forcing a smile, but finding peace in whatever is. As you live this way, you inspire others. Your calm, positive presence is a light in the dark. You may never know how much your actions help those around you, but trust that your wisdom is a gift to the world. Finally, know that this path is lifelong. There will be ups and downs, moments of doubt and moments of clarity. Embrace all with a gentle heart. Each step forward is progress. Walk slowly, breathe deeply, act kindly,